They said, is happy wife, happy life true? Science says yes. Mm-hmm. So they did a big science thing, and their whole point is like, it actually is true that if the woman's happier, the relationship's better, but if the man's happier, the relationship's worse. And it was like, the whole article is kind of like why it's good for men to keep their wife happy, but like the obvious undertone is like, yeah, because men don't make it everyone's problem.
Yes.
Like there's a lot of guys that are unhappy and they just say whatever and they still go to their job and just live some shitty life and they fucking go down with the ship and keep it and hold it to themselves, right? Whereas if a girl's having a bad time, everyone's having a bad time.
Yeah, they're just like a black hole of misery. They just suck you in.
We're all having a bad time.
Yeah, so if I'm having a bad time, we're all having a bad time.
Okay.
Well, you could just internalize this and not, project this on everybody else and go, no.
If your wife's having a bad time, you're gonna have a bad time. Okay.
Okay.
If a 2014 study by researchers at Rutgers University has found the marital bliss is strongly associated with whether or not the wife is happy in relationships. But it really, well, first of all, the other point is like, yeah, because no one gives a shit if the guy's that happy.
Yeah.
Just do your job.
Well,
buddy.
guys are just different. They're not, they don't need to be like externally being like, oh, my happiness is what matters. Otherwise, this whole relationship is getting fucking burned to the ground.
Yeah.
I can be kind of miserable and
And
power
also,
through it.
I think guys will be more like they're either happy or they're not on their own. Whereas a girl, if they're happy or not, it's like if a girl's unhappy, they'll fucking put their entire emphasis on the guy to like solve their relationship. Yeah. So that's why being with an unhappy girl is so bad, because all of it's like her whole thing is like, because I think when guys start doing inventory where they go like, you know what, I'm fucking not liking the way everything's shaking out. They go, maybe I don't like my job. Maybe I don't like this. Maybe I don't like this. I don't like this. Whereas girls, if they're like that, everything's like, my guy's
I'm unhappy
because it's my relationship
for sure
fault.
And he's just like, I can't help you with this is not something
so
I can fix.
because they get too much of their needs from their other partner, I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're more codependent.
Not every girl, because I actually have had ones that haven't, but I'd say a big portion codependency. Yeah,
I agree.
It's probably more common.
Yeah, it's not the all the time, but
yeah, but you're right. Yeah, but it's way more where it's like, there's dudes that are like, we have friends, a lot of the New York sad boys are probably like that too, right?
Yeah, they are. The New York sad boys.
We know a lot of New York sad boys, but they'll probably alternate between career and relationship. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm sad because of relationship or sad because of career. There's less factors. Your average guy might fucking join a dodgeball league, be like, I wasn't hanging out with my friends a lot. I've actually found that some of the times when I was like getting bummed out, I was like, I just haven't been like hanging out with anyone. Like you've
just been kind of too locked up.
Yeah, exactly, right? But obviously it's not always the solution. But if she's miserable, then her husband is miserable, and pretty much the whole relationship is just the pits. But it's just like such the truism of the world. If your wife's very miserable, like the whole household's gonna be miserable.
She's gonna suck you in.
You're gonna be hearing about that.
Guys, if they're miserable, they stew about it and then they maybe kill themselves. And everybody's like, I didn't see it coming. And you go, yeah. Because that's how you do it.
That's how
you don't give one fucking hint about
hold it in, and then you beat your kids.
You don't give one hint about your misery until you just have to end it all.
Yeah, if I'm miserable, definitely she's not going to be hearing about it as much, unless it's because of her. Like
if it's because of them, then you owe it to them too.
It's because of them because they're being too miserable, and then it's like this cycle. You know what I mean? But it is funny, like, how do you make this article on yourtango.com and sort of not see that as negative? Like, guy, if a girl's miserable, she will make her husband miserable. And they're like, well, boys, like, use that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the reason happy wife, happy life is true is that happy wife is more willing to aim to please. So they're saying that like a happy wife actually makes they said it the other way. They're trying to pitch it like, well, because if you make your wife happy, she'll make you happy.
Yeah, but you have to make her happy. But she can never be initiating.
Yes, but it doesn't hold up, because the truth is, if the guy is unhappy, it's like it's no one's business. She's saying like, if she's miserable, she'll make it your problem. But then they're like, if you make her happy, she'll make you happy. And you go, what if I was already happy?
Also, what happens if I take her out to some really nice restaurant and then they fuck up her order and then she goes from being super happy to miserable?
Right, and she starts crying and everything.
And then
you know
I'm miserable at this fancy dinner.
And you go, how I can't
on paper, this should have been a happy night.
Exactly.
What happened?
So their pitch doesn't really make sense, because they're like, well, make your wife happy and she'll make you happy. And you're like, well, what if I'm fine already? And you go, well, then your life's going to be fucked, bud. Well, she'll make you unhappy, and then she can make you happy. And you go, that's the kind of what their pitch is.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you better make her happy even if you're happy, because then she'll make you unhappy. And then if you make her happy, she can make you happy again.
It's a really vicious cycle. Vicious.
As Deborah Carr Or the study by Deborah Carr, she explained, a wife is happy in her marriage. She will try hard to create a positive experience for her environment. So perhaps she listens to him more. Don't need that. She offers him more emotional support, things we don't need. All things that they need. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nothing you need.
Listen to your stories about your things at work. It's like, sounds like stuff you want. That's my...
yeah.
The Kurt Metzger had my favorite point of all time, where he goes, girls will apologize for everything other than the things that they should actually apologize for. You know what I mean? They'll apologize for racism. Like, they'll apologize for colonialism. They'll apologize for everything other than, like, you know, showing up late or something, like something they actually did.
Yeah, being like, missed the thing that was important.
Yeah. Not all women. Obviously,
not all women.
Yeah, but not all women is accurate. But so basically, and then she offered him more help with his activities. That's actually but there is such a thing that these places do. It's like, well, guys, here's the list of things you could get, and you're just like, you just gave me a list of things you want.
Happy wife, happy life.
You get more emotional support. I don't want.
Am I being blackmailed right now? Like, what's? Doesn't feel like. I feel like this is extortion. Like, happy wife, happy life is literally just like extortion.
Good point. It is extortion.
I mean, I'd hate to see something happen to your life. It would be a shame if something happened to your nice life. You have a nice, happy life. I'd hate to see something happen to it. That would make it unhappy. Be a shame.
That's exactly what it is.
It's fucking protection money.
You seem to be having a fun time over there. You happy? You know, just wouldn't want something to have to make that unhappy.
It would
we can make it unhappy like this.
Dude, it's literally like the protection money, like showing up to fucking the mob showing up to your business, being like, it'd be a real shame if something happened to your business. You know, like maybe a firebomb through the window. That'd be a real shame.
Yeah, you wouldn't want her
to see it. I would hate to see something like that happen.
I would hate to see your wife I would hate to see your wife have a crying mental breakdown when you were supposed to be hanging out with your buddies. I just hate to see that. When the game was, I would hate to see your wife.
I'd hate to see you during the Super Bowl with your favorite team and their first time in the Super Bowl that I would have an absolute meltdown. I wouldn't allow you to watch the game. I would hate for something like that to happen.
We're on the same team here.
We're on the same team. This isn't, let's not pick sides here.
I would hate to see something like that happen. When a woman is unhappy, she's far more likely to talk about it and even be confrontational. You don't say.
Yeah. You know,
so the psychologist did some fucking research.
Yeah, I love it. They need a fucking expert psychologist for this.
Your wife's unhappy. You're going to hear about it. Fellas, this is the New Clips channel. Right now, we're at 3K. Hit us with a subscribe. Let's get those numbers up. Very much appreciated. Let's get to 5K at the very least. All right. Thank you. Peace.